Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for coming. I hope this will be interesting for you. I'm going to talk about the police and cybersecurity. Of course, cybersecurity is a huge opportunity, but mainly it's a huge challenge for police forces, right? But we also have a huge gap on that. The thing is, the way to close this gap is only through capability building, one side, and to bring in the adequate resources to the police, right? I'm going to focus on the part about capability building. This is training, and this is innovation. We need to develop the necessary skills to face cybercrime and cybersecurity, right? So we have limited resources, of course, mainly in the administration and in the police, as you for sure already know. And I'm going to explain which is the way for us to get this knowledge and to get these skills necessary to face cybercrime. This is mainly innovation. The participation in international projects and innovation projects since 2005, in our case, has brought us the opportunity to collaborate with other police forces, to know about good practices from them, but also, most importantly, with universities and knowledge creators, and with companies, with the industry who is developing solutions, to provide requirements, to test, and to work with them, together with them, to develop interesting things on the field. A good example of all these are hybrid threats. Our role is very important to fight against hybrid threats. We have disinformation campaigns, we have hate speech, we have many of these things that are directly against fundamental rights and democracy values, right? But in the other side, we also have critical infrastructures to protect as police forces who are threatened by these hybrid threats. So we have a strong role here, and we have to be prepared to face this challenge. In this sense, my colleague Iván, who is the expert on the field, will explain you a very good practice, which is a success story, actually, on the matter. Iván, please.
Thank you. I don't know if you can hear me. Yes. First of all, thank you so much for being here at this time. It's time to get lunch, at least in Spain, so it's a great effort. I really appreciate your effort in this regard. So let me introduce ourselves. He is my coordinator, José Luis Riego, and I am Iván Luis Martínez. I am project manager at the Innovation and Project Management Division of Valencia Local Police. This is a rare avis in the local police forces in Spain, but we are working in the framework of European projects since maybe almost 20 years ago. So we have expertise in more than 30 European projects under ACE 2020 program, now Horizon Europe, and this is something I have to highlight because we believe in research and development. This is something crucial for a public service. This is something crucial for a law enforcement agencies. That's the reason that we in Valencia Local Police created the first ad hoc department focused 100% in research and development. But not only in new technologies, also in new strategies, new challenges. Nowadays, you can see the hybrid threats. We will see a project that has been developed in order to fight against the hybrid threats, creating a cluster. So I think we can be so proud of this kind of new departments. Among the country, in Spain we have 4,000 different police forces, counting on the local police forces, so we are beginning to be on the edge of the European project field. Having said that, what are the hybrid threats? What does it mean, the term? It's so trendy. Everybody nowadays is talking about hybrid threats and how can it influence in our daily basis. We have a basic idea. We have the interference in the US elections in the past, by a third country that everybody here knows who is the actor. But there are several cases. We also have the COVID situation and how another country who was supposed to be the origin of the COVID, of the virus, was trying to influence in the Western countries to clean his image and to depute responsibilities. So we have a lot of examples. We will see how we can study these hybrid threats. But I think it's convenient, if I may, to show you a short video. It has been developed by the Hybrid Center of Excellence of the European Commission, who is involved with us in EU-HybNET project. So maybe it's convenient to show you. It's a couple of minutes video, OK?
In a democracy, we have a say in our society by voting for people in power for a specific time. Our individual rights are protected. Not all states are governed like this. Under authoritarian rule, citizens have no say if a single authority or elite seizes power. In non-democratic systems, autocrats impose on people how they should live their lives to maintain power. If elections are held at all, they can be manipulated to hold on to power and portray rule as legitimate. Autocrats try to undermine democracies so they can exercise and project their power freely. They do this through hybrid threats. This involves attacking from within to create divisions and put pressure on critical systems, preventing us from participating effectively in our democracy. Examples of hybrid threats include sabotage of key infrastructure, like electricity, to create insecurity. Cyber attacks against institutions like hospitals to undermine our trust in them. Corruption through bribing politicians to buy influence. Disinformation campaigns to create and amplify divisions. Used in concert, such operations aim to break down trust in each other and society's institutions. The goal is to weaken democratic societies from within and prevent our cooperation. So, what does this mean for us? These threats weaken our belief that we can make a difference to society. Our democratic system only works when we all participate. We need to know how it works and how we have a say in it. If we do not, we allow hostile actors to tear us apart. We need to be aware of hybrid threats so we can all play a part in overcoming the distrust that hybrid threats cause.
This is the Hybrid Center of Excellence. It depends on the European Commission. And I think it's more clear. Let me see if you say yes or not. It's more clear the concept of hybrid threats. This is a multifactorial risk, and I have very bad news, unfortunately. Nowadays, we are in a total war. Maybe it's an undercover war. Maybe we just see the results and the consequences of hybrid threats applied to several spaces of our democracies. And that's the key point. The European Commission is making a huge effort in order to fund specific research, projects, programs in general, to fight and to counter the hybrid threats. And that's EU-HybNET project. We are creating a pan-European cluster of organizations from academia, law enforcement agencies, ministries of interior, etc., in order to join together efforts to try to find solutions and innovations that can stop or face, because stopping this is so complicated, we are talking about multidisciplinary attacks, in order to stabilize and to defend our democracies. And that's the point of EU-HybNET, and that's why I invite you at your organizations, if you want to join this project, because you have the possibility. The project is open for private companies to join and to get benefit and advantages of being part of this cluster of organization. But how can we proceed? about how can we investigate or try to find solutions. We follow several strategies. This is a simple example, but a good example, of what a researcher follows, which procedure follows in order to find out how to stop a hybrid threat. First of all, a researcher chooses a tool. This tool tries to achieve specific objectives. This tool also targets domains and tries to find opportunities and vulnerabilities in order to affect this target. This is a procedure, long procedure, and finally, the researcher finds that all the consequences affect in cascade to several domains. I will show you a more, in principle, complicated slide, but more simple to explain. Imagine that you are playing darts, and you have a Diana. Who is playing darts? The actors. I am Russia, for instance. I am the European Union. I am a private actor. And I am pretending to cause an effect in a third country. I use several tools. I use, for instance, misinformation. This would be the dart. This tool I want to use, this tool to affect a specific domain, for instance, cultural domain, cyberspace, etc., in order to create an activity that will have, as a consequence, destabilize our democracy, change the opinion of a country, etc. Now try to figure out or to remember what happened in US elections a few years ago. You remember that an external actor, by using specific tools and attacking specific domains, they were capable of changing the results of the elections. This is a good example, and this is a good example of how dangerous can be the procedures and the tools used by not only states, but also non-states, private companies, lobbies, etc. And we in the European Commission, we are trying to defend ourselves. We are trying to build resilience in our citizenship. And that's the point of this kind of projects. And this is how we can make conceptual models of hybrid threats. Now, we can see this is the same, but in stages. We see the actor that uses specific tools to attack specific domains, to create interference, influence, operation, activities in general, for targeting, changing the decision-making process, undermine and harm democracies, creating riots, etc. Here, Catalonia, a few years ago, what we had? We had elections, controversial ones, referendum. Hybrid threats were there also. Misinformation, using partially the information to create an opinion, both sides. I am not postulating myself, you understand. So it's everywhere. It's also the Nord Stream. When someone attacked the Nord Stream in the Baltic area, all of these are hybrid threats. This is one basic diagram we use to apply this model to every hybrid threat we have. We have three spaces in our society. We have civil space, we have governance space, and service spaces. Every one of the three, they have domains. We have the domain of culture, we have the domain in cyber, we have the domain of legal, public administration, etc. When this dart of the beginning, when this tool, for instance, this information, attacks one space, focus the effort in targeting one specific domain in order to try to break something basic in a democracy. In this case, in the example, it's the stability of a country. But what is the problem? Because if we suffer just one attack, we are able to protect ourselves. But the problem, the key point of the hybrid threats, is that all these kind of activities, as a result, they make cascade of consequences. And they affect not only to one of the spaces, civil space, for instance, but also to the governance space. If we use disinformation campaigns, we can affect to the social opinion. But also we can make misinformation campaigns. We can change, we can polarize the society. So this is the idea I wanted to show you, how dangerous it is and how complicated it is to face multifactorial attacks regarding hybrid threats. We are talking about cyber attacks. We are talking about physical attacks. We are talking about critical infrastructures, but not only at an international level, and that's the point for a local police as ourselves. There are 3 levels. International level, geopolitics. Russia, the main actors, Europe, US. Also, national level, inside the country, like the example of Catalonia referendum. But also in a local level, Valencia city, the 3rd capital of Spain, we suffer attacks for public transport. They annulate our transport when we have congresses, etc., conferences. So imagine, this is something that contaminates everything. What does EU-HybNET to fight and to study? Which are the pillars of the project? 4 pillars. First of all, future trends of hybrid threats. Where are we going? Which will be the evolution of hybrid threats? Are we ready to face the future? Let's see. Second one, cyber and future technologies. What is happening right now? 4th industrial revolution, artificial intelligence, open AI, controversia. We will be able to face the singularity. We will arrive to this point in which artificial intelligence will be general artificial intelligence, will be conscious, autonomous. What will happen? This is something relevant also, key point in my opinion. So we study also cyber and future technologies. 3rd of them, resilient civilians, local level and national administration. What is the European Commission doing nowadays? They are trying to strengthen the legal framework in order to protect our rights. We saw the GDPR years ago. We saw this year the release of a new legal framework regarding the use of artificial intelligence. But is this convenient for the competitiveness of the European Union regarding the raising 3rd countries? They have no boundaries. They have no sailing for developing new technologies regarding artificial intelligence. At the same time, we are trying to protect the privacy and the rights of our citizenship, which it has sense, makes sense in Europe. But what about the 10 years? We are not the predominant influential countries in the world anymore. Now it's changing the paradigm. China, Asia in general, it's winning the game, let's say, if I may. So a lot of challenges, not only for the police officers, but also for the society itself. And last but not least, we have the information and strategic communication. Again, thanks or due to the artificial intelligence, fake news, misinformation, less critical society. Unfortunately, it's demonstrated that they don't feed themselves with a variety of sources. They believe specifically certain platforms, so the critical way of thinking of the society is going down. If we add the fact that artificial intelligence is capable of creating very realistic, simulated news or images or videos, we are in a critical situation. And the polarization of the society is quite easy to be done by a state or by a non-state corporation. What is a strong point of a European project? A European project from the European Commission lasts approximately 2, 3, or even 5 years in the case of EU-HybNET project. But thanks to the direct implication of the Hybrid Center of Excellence and the Joint Research Center of the European Commission, this project will last more and more and more. We are creating a network of more than 136 institutions nowadays. All who is working in the framework of hybrid threats is here. You can arrive alone so quick to a place, but you need company, you need a team to go further, and that's the key point of EU-HybNET. This cluster of organizations who are not only sharing knowledge, but also making research, trying to find innovations, analyzing these innovations and looking for its feasibility. It can be industrialized, it's feasible to apply on a daily basis. We are making recommendations, and we are feeding directly the European Union. And this is, in my humble opinion, a great success for a just H2020 project. How we can proceed? We make a gaps and need mapping. We see the necessities of the citizenship, of what is happening about hybrid threats. Then we find innovations. We analyze these innovations, and we estimate if they can be applied or not to solve certain topics. Also, we make the recommendations I mentioned for the European Commission, and the European Commission is actively keeping in mind these recommendations and applying them. So more or less, this is a diagram of what are we doing. Now, we are in the final cycle of the project prior to continue the network through whenever the Commission will want. But now we are accepting membership. So I again invite you to join our effort and also our community. This is something that we use in a basic mode to admit new, let's say, innovations. We analyze if they can fit in our 4 pillars, the future trends, the cyber, resilience, and information, and if they can affect certain domains. So this is not a theoretical project, but it's a pragmatical one. It's a practical one. We apply this knowledge in a real way in the European Commission. I think I have not so many time. I would like to show you how can we proceed with the workshops. Thanks to the innovation we find, we organize innovation and knowledge exchange workshops, innovation and standardization workshops, future trends workshops, annual workshop, etc. This is an example of Valencia local policy. We organized the last future trends workshop and annual workshop. But I think I can, because maybe you want to ask questions. The next event that you are invited to go, or maybe I have time to put the video? OK, let's go.
EU-HybNET is a European Commission-funded 5-year project, and it stands for creating a pan-European network to counter hybrid threats and to find the solutions to hybrid threats. And today we are having an annual workshop that is the 4th year annual workshop for the project, delivering our results for stakeholders.
Hybrid threat is a growing issue for European security. In order to better understand them, anticipate their evolution, and counter them more efficiently.
Este evento organizado por la Policía Local de Valencia y el Centro Europeo de Prevención de Amenazas Híbridas es el elemento clave para pasar el mensaje que el Parlamento Europeo quiere decir a todos los ciudadanos. Vota con libertad, ajeno a las interferencias. No todo lo que viene en las redes sociales es verdad. Hay que comprobarlo 2 veces y luego votar en conciencia.
Nowadays, taking into account the hybrid threats environment, any police force should work on countering polarization and disinformation campaigns addressed to public opinion. Citizens have to be really free to make their own decisions.
Desde el CSIR de la Comunitat Valenciana estamos muy involucrados a la hora de luchar contra las amenazas híbridas y, por ejemplo, en el caso de las Smart Cities, estamos investigando día a día cómo resolver estas amenazas que son muy nuevas para todos y queremos proteger también a la población y no solamente a grupos específicos.
Participar en un projecte com EU-HybNET ens ha brindat l'oportunitat d'oferir un millor servici a la ciutadania, en tant en quant protegim millor les nostres institucions públiques i les infraestructures crítiques de la nostra comunitat. Not bad the paella, the last image. It's, it's Valencia, so why not? So this is the kind of events we develop, and we believe that being physically together, we can share and we can create more synergies, and we can create cluster. And more or less, this is the whole idea of the project, and also hybrid threats, and also how the European Commission works to counter hybrid threats. This is the consortium, a numerous one, but again, this is from the beginning. Now we have more than 135 organizations involved. So this is all from my side. Thank you so much for your attention. We are at your disposal for whatever you would need, so do not hesitate to contact us. Thank you so much.
Anyone? Any question? Yes, yes. I will also have one. I'm running.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. Yeah, what I would like to ask is, like, what one person can consider a fake news, other people can consider a point of view. So how you make sure that this platform that you're developing cannot be weaponized by specific governments with agenda or censorship in the future?
Can you hear me right now? Yes. This is a very good question. In fact, we are trying to be as neutral as we can and as autonomous as we can, but we are depending on the European Commission directly. But this is the most independent project, European project, that I am working in. I have worked in since maybe 9 years of experience. I cannot guarantee 100%, and you're right in your argument. But I really believe that just the fact that the project will follow up more than 5 years, it's a guarantee that the convincement of all the institutions that are involved in will work neutrally in developing the innovations. Thank you. Any other questions? Come on, it's the last one.
Yes. If the private company would like to join,
Yes.
what should do to join?
If a private company, because individuals cannot join the network, they have to join as a company, so they just have to send us an email and we can open the door to this institution. There is a committee who will study, because not everyone can join the network. It depends on several factors that the committee, the coordination of the project, has to examine. Every 3 months, we open the doors and we study all the candidatures, and we decide if they are able to join or we reject the candidature.
Thank you. And so imagine the company will join. How its involvement will look like?
Sorry?
How the involvement of the company will look
Yes.
like? What they do?
You will be able to participate in the workshops. You will be able to get advantage or get all the innovations, the information of the innovations. You will be able to be physically in the workshops to make cluster. You will be able to access to a 130 institutions cluster and network, which is not bad. So I think for a private company specifically, in terms of marketing and exposition, it's a very good point, in fact.
So last one, it is a non-profit project, am I right? So
Yes.
if the company will join...
Absolutely, it's for free. It's a win-win for everybody.
Yes.
No obligations, no money, no payments, just knowledge, which is the key point.
Yes. Understand. Thank you very much for answers. And applause, last applause. Thank you.